So you can play back if there's anything that you wanted to see again. I just want to introduce myself. My name is Angela McKay. I am the Executive Director with IEST. You have a few staff members on with us today, and we're all hoping to answer any questions you might have and share a little bit more about how you can make more out of your IEST membership, and get involved. First, I want to go ahead and start by doing some introductions just so we know who we have on the call. So we'll start with staff just so you know who we are. And then we'll ask each of you if you're comfortable to go ahead and turn on your camera, introduce yourself. If not, if you could just unmute yourself and let us know if there is, if you can let us know a little bit about yourself and something that you're hoping to get out of the conversation today, that would be great. And I am going to pause. It looks like Vinay sent me a message and oh, okay. Heather, you're handling that? Okay, thank you. So we just had some audio difficulties there. So hopefully, Vinay, you're able to hear us. But we will go ahead and get started with staff doing some introductions. And then when we get to our attendees today, if you wouldn't mind, like I said, sharing a little bit more about yourself and what you're hoping to get out of the conversation so that if we don't already have this in our presentation, that we can make sure to answer that question for you or follow up. So I'd like to start by turning it over to Jen Scalina. So Jen, if you could go ahead and then we'll go on from there. Thanks.
Sure. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. As Angie mentioned, we have a lot of great opportunities with IEST, and we're excited to be able to share them with you today. My area is the technical programs, so I oversee working groups, our ISO group, and our recommended practices and standards published by IEST.
Thanks, Jen. Heather, if you could go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Heather Wooden. I'm the IEST Meetings and Education Program Coordinator. So I am responsible for working with our committees to develop our training programs throughout the year, as well as our conferences, our annual meeting, ESTECH, and then our fall conference, EduCon, as well.
Thanks, Heather. And then Mara.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mara Duvres. I am the Membership and Accounting Coordinator. So I handle all the accounts receivables, process registrations for courses and for our meetings, and I handle all the membership renewals, questions, anything like that.
Thanks, Mara. So I'll go ahead and introduce our attendees. Callie, since you joined us first, if we can start with you, that would be great. And just a reminder to go ahead and unmute when you guys are ready to speak. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Callie. I work at Reed City Group and help with the clean rooms here. We have 6 ISO 8 clean rooms. This is my first time coming to one of the monthly meetup, so no expectations of today. I just want to learn more about IEST.
Thanks, Kelly. And just something I should have checked before, but since I didn't, if everybody could let me know if you're a member or interested in learning more about membership, that'll help us a little bit with how we share information today. So Kelly, are you a current member?
Yes, yep, I'm a current member.
Great, thank you. Next, Vinay, am I saying your name right? Looks like Vinay, you may be muted. There you go.
Yeah, can you hear me?
We can hear you, yes.
Okay, yeah. Vinay Clausen. I work at Rantec Power Systems. We do military electronics, so heavily involved in environmental testing, with the MIL Standard 810 specifically. I'm a new member and just interested, my first meeting here, and interested in just getting involved, and specifically, if there's any activity on modifying or updating MIL Standard 810, that's our primary focus. So.
Great, thank you and welcome.
Thanks.
And Tony, you're up next.
I can barely hear you.
module, Paragon Systems Test.
Tony, it seems like our connection. Tony, I'm sorry. It sounds like the connection might be going in and out a bit. I'm not sure if you're further away from the mic. Sometimes that happens.
Okay, well, I'll just try speaking up.
Okay,
It's Tony Arajo, Paragon Systems Testing. Is that better?
Yes, much better. Thank you.
Okay, good. I'll just speak up then. Yeah. So just joined IE. I'm a vibration testing, vibration fixture nerd, and I guess someone on IEST reached out to me to provide some content for the last ESTECH. So I'm interested in I just put in an abstract for next year's ESTECH, helping move the industry along to improve practices in the vibration testing and vibration fixture field.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much and welcome. Thanks for joining us today. And it looks like we just had one more person join us, Greg Highland, who's a member of our board. And Greg, just to catch you up, we just were doing introductions and asking everybody who's on to share a little bit more about themselves and what they were hoping to get out of today. I know you being a board member, you are very involved and can offer a different perspective during our presentation today. But if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself, that would be great.
Certainly. My name is Greg Highland, and I had the good fortune when I graduated from college in 1982 to be recruited into the clean room industry. So it's hard to believe, my gosh, my whole lifetime I've been in clean rooms. And what I'm really passionate about is helping our clients have the best outcomes and really understanding operator behaviors and protocols as it relates to the clean room consumables that we manufacture. And so to that end, even though I'm turning 62 this year, what really gets me exciting is meeting with clients. I do a lot of client assessments, and I feel if we can help our clients have a better outcome, they're more likely to keep their manufacturing or research in the United States, and we all benefit.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Greg. And with that, we will go ahead and get started. We have a short presentation. It covers the different areas, and I think we touched on everything that you all mentioned. But feel free to stop us at any time, ask questions, and then at the end, if there's anything we didn't touch on or you wanted us to speak to a bit more, please let us know. We're happy to do that. It'll be moving from myself into the other staff members, and then, Greg, if you have anything else to add to it, please do. So informal, but informative and hopefully helpful for all of you. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Second, just to change my view here. Okay, so all of you, I think, are aware of who IEST is and what we do. But we do offer technical guidance through international standards and recommended practices. We do offer educational programs, and then we also have conferences and meetings and different publications as well in the journal. So we'll go through that today. There are many different ways to get involved, and hopefully after today's presentation, you find something that's of interest to you. It sounds like from the introduction, some of you are already, I think it was Tony mentioned maybe submitting something for ESTECH already, so that's great. But just like I said, we'll share information today about how you could get involved, and if you have any questions about any of those after, please let us know. So first we'll turn it over to Jen Scalina, and she's going to talk a little bit more about how you can get involved in our technical department and the different areas there. So Jen, I'll go ahead and turn it over to you.
All right, great. Thank you, Angie. IEST oversees quite a few working groups, and essentially these working groups are all volunteers. All the members are experts in their fields, and they get together either virtually or at our two different meetings each year to work on consensus documents, recommended practices, things that they feel that the industry needs to have a better understanding of, or there's maybe a test method that needs further explaining. So they get together and they draft these documents. They're peer reviewed, they're voted on, they're approved by the IEST board, and then they're published. These documents are available through the IEST bookstore, and we have quite a few in the contamination control field. We have a little bit less in the environmental test and product reliability areas, just because it seems that most of the technology is pretty standard and static in that area, so not much changes over the years. We invite everyone to be a member, everyone to participate in the working group program, and you're welcome to observe any working group meetings that are scheduled, whether you're at a conference or virtually. We do list all of our upcoming meetings on our website. There's a working group meetings page. And if you observe a working group and you feel that you would like to contribute to the development of their document, you're welcome to put in an application to become a voting member. Once you attend the second meeting and with the approval of the working group chair, you'll be able to start participating in the development of the document, and you will be allowed to vote on the document when it's ready. I think, Tony, you mentioned you had interest in vibration, and I know David Scuro is working on a new document that hasn't been published yet, and I'm sure he'd appreciate connecting with you if you're interested in contributing. His working group is DTE 047. You can find it on our website and learn more information about it. And if you'd like to participate, go ahead and send an email address to me at the email address listed on this screen. And Vinay, you mentioned DTE 043, which is our Mill Standard 810 group. And that working group doesn't necessarily participate in changes to the document. They're more of a reviewing body, and they will take a look at the new draft that comes down through the government that is a government-owned document. And they will go ahead and provide input. So they do review the document. They don't necessarily develop it. That's done within the military. But again, you can find that working group on our website. And if you're interested in learning about becoming more involved with the group for the review, just go ahead and shoot me an email. We have a technical awards program. We have a lot of very amazing members. Greg, you're pictured here. And we like to make sure that everyone who is outstanding in their fields can be recognized by IEST. The IEST membership are allowed to make nominations, but the award winners do not need to be IEST members. Nominations can be submitted through the website by the 15th of December every year, and the winners are announced and recognized at our annual meeting in the springtime at ESTECH. We also publish a annual peer-reviewed scientific journal, the Journal of the IEST. This magazine has been in publication since the late 1950s and moved over to a virtual format in the last 10 years or so. This journal is filled with peer-reviewed technical papers, and we do have papers both in clean rooms and contamination control and in environmental test and product reliability. You can go ahead and submit a paper if you're interested in having it be peer-reviewed and considered for the journal. We also do technical articles, and those may not be quite as in-depth as a scientific or technical paper, but they may be on new technology or a better way to run a program or a process. A lot of the times, because we are a secretariat to ISO TC 209, we do provide an industry update on the latest happenings within the TC.
Thanks, Jen. Any questions about the technical program or anything that Jen just touched on before we move on? Okay. And then just going forward, if you do have a question, you can use the raise hand function, or you can just go ahead and unmute yourself, and we're happy to answer it that way too. So we'll move on to a few other leadership opportunities and ways to get involved. Excuse me, one of those is the executive board, which I mentioned. Greg Hyland is a member of our board. And We do elections every year. The positions and the officers that we have on the board do rotate. So it's not every position that's open every year, but it's a rotation. So there is information about that online. If you have questions, you could always reach out to me. We take information from those who are interested throughout the year. So even if you're not sure yet, but you want to find out more, you could reach out to me. I could explain a little bit more about what's online, or talk a little bit more about the positions and the specific responsibilities of each. And then we pass there's a form online you could also fill out. We pass that information on to the nominating committee every year so they can consider those candidates as they have open positions every year. The other opportunities that we have are 2 of our committees, and these are our very active committees that meet throughout the year. So I'll back up. The board meets every month virtually. And when we have in-person, which we're starting to go back to in-person meetings and conferences, we would meet in person twice and then virtually by phone or video the rest of the year. The EAC, the Education Advisory Committee, and the ESTECH Planning Committee, those committees also meet not quite as regularly. I would say the ESTECH Planning Committee is almost monthly. Sometimes we go a little bit longer depending on the time of year that we're at. And that is by phone and video. In person at the conferences, follows the same timeline as the executive board. And then the Education Advisory Committee, that one meets, I believe it's 4 times a year. 2 of those are in person, and then 2 would be virtual. Sometimes we might add an extra meeting here or there depending on what we have going on. But just going through what each does, the EAC, the education group, they would help and work closely with Heather Wooden, planning our programming and our training and custom courses. So it's more focused on our education. The ESTECH Planning Committee is a little bit more focused on the conference itself. So the annual technical meeting, and that's held every spring. As part of ESTECH, there is education, an educational component to that, but the EAC would be the ones to determine what that training looks like. So both of those groups include many members of our executive board, and many instructors are part of the EAC. We have some session chairs and other positions that are within the committees. We have coordinators, we have co-chairs. So there's different opportunities to be either a member of the committee, if it's probably where you would start if you have an interest, and listening and contributing. And then if you had an interest in growing within that, you may go into a coordinator role or a co-chair role. And oftentimes some of those positions, we have them both on the contamination control side and the DT and PR product reliability side. They often might be asked to serve in a board role eventually, if that is something that opens up while they're in that position. So it's definitely a good way to get involved, great way to network and to get to know others, and then just to grow, yourself in that role and contributing. So if you would like more information, that is all online. You go to IEST in the Get Involved section, or reach out to me. Happy to answer any questions. And if it's a committee specific question, it might be me or Heather Wooden. So Heather would be the 2 committees and I would be the executive board. So any questions about those 3 groups? Okay, so moving on to the next one, we have a couple of different opportunities that Heather Wooden's going to speak to. So Heather, I'll turn that over to you.
Yeah, so like we said towards the beginning, is IEST does offer continuing education classes throughout the year, and we are always looking to expand not only the topics that we teach, but also our instructors that we teach. So regarding classes, we have a number of different opportunities. We have short webinars, and then we also offer some of those on demand as well. We do half-day classes, full-day classes, whether that be virtual or in person. And then we do offer custom training, and I think I'm actually going to be talking about that a little later, but that is basically where a facility may need a specific type of training for a group of employees, and you guys would basically hire IEST and a instructor to come out to your facility and teach on a particular topic that you would like to know more about as a group. So we are always looking for instructors, and there's information on applying. It is an application process to become a new IEST instructor, and the application is on the IEST website. There's a form and references as well. And we're also always looking for training topics, things that we're missing. And you can always email me directly of any topics that you think that you know, the IEST membership or the industry would benefit from, and then we can work on speaking to the EAC about that, seeing if we're able to find an instructor for that topic as well too. Angie, I don't know if you want to move on. Yes. So next thing is ESTECH. Tony, yes, I did receive your abstract. I haven't looked at it yet, but I did receive it. So basically ESTECH, like Angie said, is our annual meeting that we hold once a year. It's at the end of April, early May. So part of ESTECH, along with our training, is we do conference sessions or technical sessions. And these are short presentations, I'd say between 20 and 30 minutes of a presentation related to either a case study, maybe a new development that your company is doing, any sort of technical knowledge that the industry would benefit from. So how we do it is on the website. The link is right there. Each year, the planning committee develops a list of topics that we would like presented for this coming year at the annual meeting. And you can take a look at those list of products and see, list of presentations, and you can see if you can possibly present regarding one of those. And then what you would do is you would submit that abstract, and it would be emailed directly to me. And then the planning committee goes about and reviews that abstract to see if it is non-commercial in nature and if it would fit with our theme and the sessions itself. And then we would work with you later on, paperwork, all that sort of thing. So that is open to anyone. So anyone can present at ESTECH. It's not just for members. So you can see information on the website about it. And we are taking abstracts right now for 2023, which is going to be held the week of May 8th. And it's going to be in Minneapolis, St. Paul this year.
Thanks, Heather.
Yeah. Is there something else?
One more for you. Oh, yeah. If you could touch on this one.
Oh, yeah. So then we do have a number of networking tools available through IEST. Now, I know the majority of you, I believe, are members. So as a member, you do have access to our IEST membership directory. It's on our website. You would log in to our IEST website and go to the directory. And basically what that is a list of our members and their contact information if for some reason maybe you met at our conference or you have a technical question related to one of our RPs. You can try and look up that individual in the membership directory and contact them. Now, some people, you are able to opt out of that membership directory. So it is possible if you do not see that individual you're looking for on there, it's possible they opted out to be included in the membership directory. And then we also have our online working group directory. Now what the working group directory is, and you do have to be a member to view that as well, it's basically a list of all the observers and all of the voting members for each working group. And the working groups, like Jennifer had said, are the committees that meet to work on our recommended practices. So you can access that information on our website. And we do have social media accounts. We have LinkedIn, we have Facebook, Instagram as well. So we highly recommend that you follow us. And we do have a very strong recommended in LinkedIn, and we have a number of groups as well. So I highly recommend joining the LinkedIn community for IEST. And then like today, our monthly meetup, we do have a number of different monthly meetups that happen every month, and each month it is different and has a different theme. We do have a number of Ask the Experts type of monthly meetups, and that's where we would have a panel of experts come on and you can pretty much ask questions to them, any technical questions or issues that you're seeing in your company, that you can go ahead and speak with them during those webinars as well. I think that's it for networking. And obviously in person at our conferences, there's tons of networking opportunities as well too.
Thanks, Heather. Yeah, like Heather said, there are many different ways to reach out and connect. And in addition to what she's touched on, we also have RP spotlights, which you'll see those are announced as RPs are revised or created. And then we also have the networking opportunities that are in person. Those would be at EduCon, which is our fall conference, and then ESTECH, which is our spring conference. So those have been on pause for a couple of years, but we're very excited that's coming back. So this fall will be EduCon, and that'll be the first in person that we will be having in quite some time. So we're looking forward to seeing everybody in person again. And another way, and I'm not sure that we included this, so I'll mention this here, is we have a blog. So if you're interested in contributing to the blog, that is another way that you could, connect by reading others and different posts that we have, many from leaders, others from some of our session chairs, presenters. But if you were interested in contributing to the blog, that's another opportunity, and just, you can reach out to me on that. I can help connect you and share more information on that. So any questions for Heather on, what did you talk about? There was a lot on presenting as an instructor or at the conference during sessions, or anything here about networking that we can answer? Okay, we'll go ahead and move on. So Mara, if you could touch on the member program and the referrals.
Sure. So we do have a referral program, and we have found that one of the best ways to get in new members and to grow our society is for current members to recommend new members to our organization. That really helps bring in some new people. For that, we do have this referral program. So if you were to refer somebody to become a new member, they just need to add your name under the section of how did you hear about IEST, and that will signal us to know that you referred that person. And as a reward, we provide a $50 reward coupon code to you, to the referring member, and that can be used for bookstore orders, training courses, any certificate programs, any conference registrations, and at times during the year, you can combine that to also allow the new member, the referred member, to receive a $50 coupon code as well. We do a handful of times a year, we do offer $50 new member reward promo codes as well. And that's about it.
Thanks, Mara. And like Mara said, just word of mouth is the best way. What you find valuable about IEST, and as you learn and you connect and we grow, it makes IEST even stronger. And so we have found that most of our memberships come in through that way, is because they hear about it from somebody else and their experience. So if you have any questions about it, let us know. It is online, but Mara would be the person who can really give you more details on that. Or if you did refer somebody and you wanted to check to see if they joined, you can reach out to Mara and she can let you know that. Okay. So the next, Heather touched on this a little bit, but we are almost done. So we'll be talking at you all day, but we wanted to make sure to cover everything. And I think this is our last topic, is more about corporate involvement. And there are different opportunities. Like Heather said, we do have the custom training, and that's actually really taken off a lot in the past few years, and that we do offer training throughout the year. And if you're interested in becoming an instructor, that's one way to get involved. But another way is bringing custom training to your company, getting your company more involved in learning more about IEST and how we can help you and your team. So custom training we do for, I think we've done for as small as one person, for as large as maybe 20 or 30. So we really do customize it. And there's a list online of all the different topics. Sometimes we have to work with an instructor to adapt their training that they would normally do in 3 days down to 2 days, and we pick what's really relevant for that organization. So it really is customized. It can be virtual or it can be in person. So if in person works best for you, we would do that. And if you have employees who are in different locations, virtual also works. So Heather would be the one to reach out to on that for more information. And I talked on the wrong slide, but this is all the information about the custom training. So you can go online to that link. It's the custom training link to find out more. And then other opportunities for corporate is we have something very new. It's our corporate member packages. So in the past, we used to have only corporate sponsorship, and now we have this corporate member package. So all of you are members, but if you know of others that at your organization, you think that this would be beneficial, we now offer a way for corporate members to benefit. And it does not just include membership. There's a lot more to it. So there are complimentary trainings that are included. There's free ESTECH conference registrations that are included. We have employee onboarding videos that can be used for anybody in the organization. And then we have discounts on company subscriptions in our bookstore. So the different RPs and standards that we talked about earlier. And then we have other benefits. We didn't list that all here, but there is a benefits guide online, or I would be happy to answer any questions on that if you have any. And then another way to get involved is event sponsorship. So this would be specific to the conferences, the in-person conferences that we were talking about. And there's different tiers and different levels to that. We're in the process of updating it now that we have our in-person scheduled for the next year. But we have the Expo Hall for ESTECH, we have sponsorship for ESTECH, and then Educana has sponsorship as well. So again, I would be that contact for you if you have any questions. And that's it. So I would, hopefully we touched on everything. Mara, I know you took notes in the beginning, and I think we did, but I would like to open it up, or Greg, if there's anything, we forgot or you wanted to add to it, but I guess I would start with our attendees. Is there anything else that we didn't cover today that we can help answer for you or follow up even after with more information?
I was going to say also, Mara, I don't think we mentioned anything about the Career Center.
Sorry, I was on mute. No, we did not. That was not in the presentation. We do have a great career center. So if anybody is interested in going to our website and checking that out, you can find that under the membership section. And you can, there are member specific benefits, but it is open for everybody as well. So you can also post jobs through that, and that is more specific to to our specific fields. So it isn't going to be anybody that isn't going to be related in our fields.
Thanks, Heather and Mara. And I made notes for if we do this, well, we will do this again, but for the next time to include that. So thank you.
Yeah. The only other thing, Angie, that I would mention is the that next monthly meeting that we will be doing later on. I think it'd be, what is it, in August, I believe, Heather, is that right? And that is specifically on our kind of navigating our website, as it is a very robust website with a lot of information, and we do get a lot of people asking where to find information on our website. So that will be coming up later at the end of the summer.
Yeah, I think so. What we typically do, so thank you, Mara, because that's a good segue to the next ones, is we typically rotate that we'll have more educational or informative based, and then it's more about IEST or networking. So July and August, I believe, Heather, would be more of that topical ask the experts information. And then I think it's in September that we're looking to do the website navigation. So that's one, we did actually just revise the website. So you may have noticed that on your own, but that'll be in September. And then typically then October, November would be more educational in nature. And then December, sometimes it's just more networking and fun. So we've done different things like trivia and, holiday themed networking. So just keep an eye on those. We started them during, the time of COVID when everything was virtual, and we found that some of our members really liked that chance to be able to connect between the in-person meetings. So we are continuing it. Greg, is there anything that you wanted to add or anything we forgot?
Yeah, I think the intangible is that what I found with my participation with IEST is I always like to say that people really don't know how much you care or how much you know until they know that you care. And I've just found that there's a genuine interest with IEST members to help each other, share best practices, share better outcomes. And, I think that's just a huge intangible. And, that starts through the networking and meeting peers that maybe are in med device and you're in med device. And so I've really been able to develop some great relationships with people in the industry that are interested in advancing, their careers and their best practices. And yeah, I think that's just a huge intangible. It makes it's made my career more interesting to connect with other like-minded people that want to be a better version of themselves as it relates to contamination control. And that's what gets me excited about IEST, that there's people are on a quest of discovery and improving process and having better outcomes. And that's fun.
Thanks, Greg. I'm smiling because I think that perfectly sums up what so many of our leaders will say. Whether they're on the board or in a committee or serving in a different role, it is exactly what you said, Greg. And it's what you get out of it that we didn't share, that you only know because you participated or because you contributed. So I think, with that, we are happy to answer any other questions. I'll ask one last time if there's anything else, if you want to just use a little raise hand function or unmute. I think we covered it all. So if you think of anything after, please follow up. If you can't remember who to follow up with any one of us and we will get you to the right person. But I want to thank everybody for joining us today, and hopefully this was informative and helpful, and we hope to see you soon. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.